Hi, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here. I see several people are hopping on already. I'm back at the parking lot here at the church, and I got the XK A100-J11 with me to fly today. Hopefully you guys are hearing me today, because yesterday I brought this out here to do the Maiden, and audio was turned off. And so you guys couldn't hear anything I was saying. So we're back out here for Maiden number 2. Not really a Maiden, but since I hid the other video, I wasn't too proud that I had the mute button pressed, and so thought I would come out and retape the Maiden. And I did read the manual, so I know a little bit more about what the controller can and can't do. And if you guys were on here live yesterday because you subscribed and you got your notification bell turned on, so you guys got to watch it live without any sound, you know that I really like this airplane. I flew it quite a while. So we'll get this thing back in the air. We'll have a good time. I see Dean and David and Dave and Dan and Frank. Lots of people on today. The wind is a little bit strong, so this little airplane, it'll be pretty interesting to see how good this gyro works. I got faith though. I think this thing's gonna do all right, as long as I can get it sitting still for the takeoff. Let me get this thing on my head. Let's get this thing in the air. I'll put my sunglasses on because the wind's coming from the sun tonight. So at least for the takeoff, I'm gonna have to turn into the sun for a second. Get this little controller. It's a pretty standard controller. It's got throttle right and left and up and down. And then this one button right here, it makes this light flash. I don't know if you guys can see that. That means it's in high rates. So we'll start out in low rates because that's how I flew it all day yesterday. There we go. She's sitting ready to go. And that's all there is to taking off. Pretty smooth. You see the birds over there didn't like it. Bringing it back around into the wind. Slowed the motor down. And got a lot of elevator. I'm still in low rates. Just wanted to get it kiting a little bit. Looks like it did okay. Let's bring it back around. That's full right or full left and elevator. And we'll get it right up here and put it into high rates. And then we'll bring it back around and see if, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do a loop or what it's gonna let me do here. Yeah, there's a loop. Oh, oh my. Well, it didn't want to come out of that loop. Shoot. So I see there's a little rubber tip on the nose that popped loose. And it looks like I can just press that back on. Or no, I can't. You can see that's broke the foam. Without that on there, I don't know if it's going to balance out for flight. We can glue that right back on with no problem. But that is going to change the CG a lot. So we'll see if the gyro on this thing works okay without that on there. Yeah, maybe not as good without the nose on there. Still not doing too bad, but it also doesn't look quite as cool. Impressive that it's flying though. It's pretty windy out here, and I probably shouldn't have tried that loop, but yep, I done did her now. So I'm gonna have to hot glue this back on for another flight. If you guys got to watch it yesterday, you could see that when I kept it in low rates, it flew great the whole time. And so that's too bad that I did that, because I was really impressed with how well this thing flew. Of course, it is windy today, and as the battery starts to lose power, it'll get harder to fly. But it did great. You can see I'm full throttle, and it's into the wind. It is really slowing it down. And speed up a little bit downwind. We'll bring it back in. The landing with the nose on there anyways wasn't too bad. Just get it into that high alpha and a little bit of throttle. There it stopped on a dime because I couldn't get her going forward. So tomorrow, hopefully, I'll have this glued back on there, and we'll get that fixed. It shouldn't be too hard at all, really. It's a nice clean brake. And wanted to point out that this does have an on-off switch down here. That's pretty handy. But you still want to take the battery out when you stop flying for the day. And then, of course, the transmitter's got an on-off switch here. And there's a button here that does the higher and low rates. But it just works with the two motors steer it, and then the elevator for up and down. Really easy to fly. And we'll share another flight with it tomorrow. That's a bummer. If I had hot glue with me, man, we'd just put that right back on and be back in the air tonight. But since I gotta drive home to do it, we won't get it back in the air yet and fixed up. So guys, I appreciate everybody watching the video today. That was sad. I thought for sure I was going to get a nice loop. I should have went a little higher, and I could have got that loop with no problem, I'm sure. Just needed a little speed to finish that loop out. And you know, maybe tomorrow we'll get that loop in. Hopefully we'll have less wind. I think the wind was also fighting it on when it was coming back under. It wasn't getting any lift, so yeah. But man, I love this airplane. Yesterday it flew so great. We're getting about 7 or 8 mile an hour wind today, so probably a little too much for this small of an airplane. But at the same time, $50. I do have it linked down in the description box if you're interested, and it'll be in every one of the videos that I post with it. Again, I'll fly it again tomorrow. We'll see what we can do. Hopefully we'll have less wind. I'll be able to do some more of the high alpha flying. And until next time, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here. The wind blew her over.